So you're thinking of moving to Bend, Oregon. In this episode, we are going to do a market overview of what's happening. We're going to show you the median home price this year compared to this month last year. We're going to show you where the market's been. We're going to show you where we believe the market's going. If that sounds like something you're into, let's get after it right now. If this is your first time on the channel and you'd like to know everything there is to know about living, eating, sleeping, playing, the good and the bad of Bend, Oregon and the surrounding areas, subscribe to the channel, tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about current market conditions right here in Bend, Oregon. My name is Zach Nutter, licensed broker with eXp Realty in the state of Oregon. I've lived here for over 30 years and I absolutely love this place. So whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. We'd love to chat with you. We get calls, texts, and emails every day from people just like you looking to make the move here to Bend, Oregon, and we absolutely love it. So reach out to us. We'd love to help you. With that being said, let's jump into the computer and look at what's happening in the market right now and where we think this thing's going. So let's get going. All right, guys, so I'm going to share my screen with you right now, and we're going to jump into this market update so you can see what's going on here in Central Oregon. So let's get that going. So this is the Beacon Report. Thank you so much to the people at Beacon Appraisal. Say that 5 times fast. So they are amazing. They release this report to us every month, and it's so helpful just to know what's going on. So we're going to jump into it. And before we do, we're going to talk a lot about the word median. So median, and we use median instead of average because averages can really skew the numbers if you've got some numbers that are really high and then some really lows. The median takes all of the numbers and it takes the number that is right in the middle. So that is how they come up with the median home price. So we're going to jump into Bend first. We're going to go over Bend and Redmond primarily, and then we're going to touch on Sun River, LaPine, and a few of the sisters. So we're going to start with Bend, and this top section here is the median home price. This is also for single family residential homes. So we're not going over all the commercial properties and manufactured homes. This is just single family homes. So jump into it right now. So you can see this is August. August is the most recent information we have. So we're recording this in September, but the data is actually from August. So you can see in August, the median home price was $742, which is down from the month previous at $800,000. Of that $742, of all the homes that sold, 24% of those were actually over $1 million, as opposed to the month previous, where over 40% of them were over $1 million. So as you'll see when we look at price per square foot, that's really the indicator I like to use. Because if you get skewed with a bunch more homes that are selling in the $1 million, it can move these numbers a little bit. So if you look at that price of August 2023 compared to August of 2022, we actually have seen an increase in price. So a lot of people believe that the prices have just gone down, down, down because interest rates have gone up, but that's not necessarily true. You can see they did creep down after August. They went up the next month and then kind of slowly went down, and then May, June last year of this year, they creeped back up, peaking in July. And then, so I do believe that we're going to continue to see them kind of dip down a little bit over the winter. The winter usually slows things down. I believe we will hover down in these low 700s throughout the winter. Who knows what's actually going to happen, but that's my thought and talking to some other agents, lenders, and just getting kind of a ballpark idea of what we think is going to happen here. And you can kind of see in August last year, or the year previous, or 2 years ago, it came up and then kept rising. We also know September of 21, we kind of saw prices go up until the middle of 22, and then they started going down. So if we go to number of sales here, we're at 156 sales in Bend last month. Now that's up from the 141 the month previous, And then let's see what it is. So it was 189 the year previous in August. So we are down, let's call it 32 sales from the year previous. So home sales are down there just a tad. Average days on market, 16 days on market. So houses are still moving pretty quick right now. If they're priced appropriately, they are still moving. There are a ton of active buyers looking to move here to Central Oregon, and houses are moving if priced appropriately. If they're not priced appropriately, they're sitting longer. There's really only two reasons that houses are sitting on the market for a long time. They either have a fatal flaw or they're overpriced. And so it's not like 2 years ago where their neighbors sold their house and then they added 50,000 to it, and the market's just not working that way right now. But if you price your home appropriately, you have a good agent that helps you price it at a fair market value, houses are moving quickly. Now let's compare this month, August of 23 to August of 22. It was only 15 days. So we're really close there. That's staying pretty well the same. Building permits. 40 building permits were pulled in the city of Bend last month, as compared to August of 22, there were 50. So builders are starting to get more confidence in the market again. As you can see, after we really were up here peaking at 87, then it dipped down, then it was 70. And it just kind of really slowed down as builders got nervous about what was going to happen in the market. And then you can see that it's come back up, dipped down, and we're right around the 40. So kind of in the middle range here, but lots of homes still being built. This is an interesting statistic that I like to look at. This is conventional loan transactions compared to cash transactions. So you can see we had 105 conventional transactions, 43. I need more coffee. Let's have some coffee real quick. All right, back on track. So we had 105 conventional sales and 43 cash sales. So that's a pretty good gap. You can see here it was really narrowing for a while when people were nervous about the rates, hadn't adjusted to the new reality that we're living in. But now you can see there's a decent spread. Obviously back here when rates were 3.5%, there was a huge difference. Everybody was using financing to buy because money was cheap at that point. And then we're going to look at months of supply. This is inventory. So the best way to explain this is if no new homes came on the market today, how long would it take for all the homes to be sold? So right now we are sitting at 2 months, which has held steady for the last 3 months. So 2 months of inventory. No new home goes on the market. Within 2 months, we're out of inventory. Let's compare that to August of last year. We're at 1.95. So really close. So the market's pretty close as far as inventory goes to the same time this time last year. And then median sales price per square foot. So this is what the homes sold at per square foot on the median. So we are at 356 as opposed to 370 of last month. And then if we jump into August, which would be a year ago, 355. So 355, we're almost identical to this time last year. So a lot of these numbers are very close. August of this year compared to August of last year. So I'm curious to see if we maintain this similar kind of pattern for the next several months going forward, if this is kind of our new normal. We'll scroll down some more. This is a nice little chart that breaks a lot of this down into more of a graph, if you'd like to look at it that way. So we're going to talk about Redmond now. So Redmond, back to median home price. So theirs jumped up $5,000 from last month, $505,000 compared to $500,000. Now, if we go back and look at August of 22, they were at $542. So they actually have come down a little bit, quite a bit more than Bend has. And I think we'll notice that when we look at some of the smaller markets that they have, their prices have gone down quicker than Bend's have. Number of sales, we're at 65 sales this month and 66 sales last month. And then let's compare that to August. We're at 57. So it's actually up. Sales are up in Redmond. Prices are down a hair, but sales are up. Days on market, 16 days on market, so very similar to Bend. And then last month was 14 and 16, so that's holding pretty steady there. And then if you compare that to August of last year, we're at 19 days on the market, so not a huge drop there. Scroll down, we'll see conventional to cash transactions. Now they've narrowed here, and we'll see if this is an anomaly. You can see that it did the same thing here, and it's tightened up here again. It kind of the gap widened here a little bit, but it tightened again. As long as rates stay high, we're going to continue to see more or a closer range as far as cash transactions compared to loans. It's just kind of natural that if you don't have to get a loan for your property, people don't want to and are going to use the cash that they have. Building permits, 23 building permits pulled compared to 32 the month previous. And then if we jump back into August, there was only 4 of 22, there was only 14 permits pulled. So it's gone up, not as much as I would like to see, but it has gone up. You saw we're up here. What is that? We're in the 60s here, 62. This is obviously all COVID time here. And then we got a pretty big dip summer of last year. Again, same kind of pattern as we saw in Bend. Builders were nervous about what was happening with rates. And we've gotten into this higher range here, which is a pretty healthy inventory of new homes coming on the market. Months of inventory. Okay, so Redmond has jumped up to 3 months of inventory. So they say that 3 to 6 months of inventory is a pretty balanced market between buyer and seller. So we're on the very bottom side of that, but this trend definitely looks like we're moving away from a seller's market into more of a balanced market. Now, if we jump over to that 6+ months of inventory, then we really get into a buyer's market, but we're still kind of on the backside of a seller's market. Moving into a balanced market is kind of what the numbers are showing here. And again, no new homes come on the market. 3 months from now, Redmond would be out of inventory. Median sale price per square foot, $303 per square foot, which is down from the month previous at $317. Jump into August, $303. So we're flat there. So again, like we talked about, the numbers are not that much different in most of these categories compared to the year previous. So it'll be interesting to see if there is if we see kind of the same pattern that we're seeing right here in the next 12 months. So we'll have to wait to see. All right, we're gonna have another chart here. Next thing, so they don't provide all the data that they do for the smaller towns in the area, but luckily I took some notes and we have some basic information here. So Sisters is a small town. It's much closer to the mountains. It's about 25 minutes away from Bend. Their median home price for single family homes last month was $699,000. And on my notes here, I have it August of 22, it was at $730. So they've seen a decent increase there. Number of sales was at 20 last month. The year previous was only 11, so that's gone up. Days on market for sold, days on market is currently 27, and the year previous in August it was 4. So houses are staying on the market a little bit longer. And then inventory was 3 months last month, as opposed to the year previous in August was 1.3 months. So again, they are also trending more towards that balanced market where both buyer and seller are kind of both at it's not a strong seller's market, not a strong buyer's market. It's kind of an equal market for everybody. Sun River, we were at 981,000 last month, as opposed to 920 August of last year. So prices have gone up in Sun River. 12 sales. So Sun River, if you haven't been there, is an amazing area. It's actually kind of a conduit to Bend. You talk to a lot of people and you ask them, how'd you learn about Bend? I always came here when I was younger and started venturing into Bend and absolutely loved it. We used to ski, and so that brought us to Sun River, which then we found Bend. And so it's really cool that a lot of people have found Bend through Sun River, but it's a really small resort style community. So Sun River had 12 sales last month. August of 22, they had 10 sales. So pretty close. Again, it's not a huge market, so the numbers are going to be pretty small. And then days on market were 26 days on market last month, as opposed to 6 days on the market previously. So moving quickly. And then current inventory this month is 2 months, as opposed to, again, 1.3 months. So houses are sitting a little longer. Still a seller's market in Sun River. We haven't got up to that 3-month mark yet, but still a seller's market. Now, LaPine, we've seen a pretty good change. So LaPine's median home price in August of 23, which was last month, $384,000, as opposed to $473,000. So that is the biggest change. LaPine's median home price has gone down substantially. Number of sales, 20 sales, as opposed to 14 of last year. So more sales, but lower price. Average days on market for last month in LaPine were 42, as opposed to the year previous, which were 18. And current inventory is 5 months. So this is very much in the middle of a balanced market, almost moving to a buyer's market, as opposed to 3 months, which was last year, which was already heading to kind of that balanced market. So that pretty much wraps it up. We're not going to get into Jefferson County and Crook County. These go by quarters. If you guys would like, I'd be happy to send you this full report. If you'd like, I could send it to you every month. If you'd like to stay on top of it, we try to do a monthly report. I know they're not the most fun thing to watch, but we're trying to just educate as much as possible. We love the videos where we get to go out and show you guys all the fun stuff and the fun parts of Bend and all of that. But we also feel that it's super important to show you guys what's happening in the real estate market, because after all, we believe that's why you're watching most of these videos. So if you haven't had a chance yet, subscribe to the channel, tap the bell for notifications. We'd love for you to like this video, comment with any questions you have, reach out to us. We'd love to help you make the move here to Bend, Oregon, or any of the areas in Central Oregon. With that being said, we hope you guys have a great day. We hope to hear from you soon, and we'll talk to you on the next video.